Hi, my name is George Arvari from Knowledge Tree Consulting. I've had a landscaping business for 38 years. Today's topic is 10 reasons why your landscaping business is not getting enough sales, and I'll help address those reasons and get to the solution for you. Let's take a look. Number 1 on my list is your website. Oftentimes websites are very poorly done. There's not enough plants in the photos, or the plants have just been planted so it doesn't look mature. Plants equal life. If you go look at your competitors who have really nice websites and do really nice projects, immediately you're going to see the difference. I love to put existing websites against awesome websites and then compare them. And there's great ways to just copy those websites, right? Make yours look like theirs. Make sure your photograph shooting schedule is 3 years out. Don't do a project and take pictures right away. Take a picture 3 years down the road when everything's filled in nicely. That makes a huge difference. And at the same time, you're also going to want to stage the project with furniture and umbrellas and benches and all those wonderful little attributes. Number 2, the trinity of design: creativity, price, and building complexity. This is often out of whack, and this makes your projects too expensive, and you're going to lose a lot of sales, and it's going to take you a lot longer to build the projects unless you get this right. So there's a bit of value engineering that has to go in here as part of your process. You can't just design everything and think it's going to be okay. Always keep this triangle in mind. The next piece is the budget quadrant, right? No one wants to talk about money. Everybody wants to talk about design. But at the end of the day, ask yourself, if you're going to a car dealership and you're buying a car, do you not know you're probably going to buy a Volkswagen, maybe with some air conditioning and some other features? You already know that. So to try to sell someone on a Bentley is not going to work. So you got to find out what that budget is. And at the same time, we're going to sell a Toyota for a premium because they don't fail. They run forever. So we will never compromise failure at the expense of the budget. Having said that, we also need to balance practicality and creativity in this budget quadrant, right? So if you get this right and you focus on what their budget is and show them images and ask them questions like, hey, what's a neighbor's house in the neighborhood that you like? And they tell you, and you tell them roughly what you think that would cost, you're going to get a real sense of how much they're willing to spend. Everybody, believe it or not, probably has a number in mind before they even get into the discussion with you. They may plead ignorance that they don't know what the budget is, but the truth of the matter is they probably know their budget. Now you can get them later on change orders and things like that, or what we call might as well-itis, but this is so important at the beginning stage. And if you get that right, you're going to win. You can't be afraid to talk about money right out of the gate. Number 4, non-negotiables. You have to demonstrate your integrity. So quality, durability, aesthetics, and how your process works. You are not going to compromise not getting that property survey, because guess what? The fence is going to be in the wrong spot. There's going to be some bylaw infraction that's going to bite both of you later on. So you're going to warn them about this up front, and that is going to establish whether or not you're trustworthy. And also, for your own sake, your own integrity. So number 5, sales techniques. So you can sell fear and happiness in combinations. And when I mean fear, I like to sell the fear of failure. If you don't do this way, this is what's going to happen. If you use this plant in that area, it might look good, but 2 or 3 years from now, this is what's going to happen. If you chimp out on the soil, on the budget, this is what's going to happen. You don't want that. So we use fear in our sales technique. The other thing that we do is we sell happiness, right? So what's going to make you happy? Well, I really want that barbecue and I love to have my family over. I love big parties. Okay, well, we ask a lot of questions to find out what's going to make them happy. The fear is something we tell them based on our experience. What went wrong, what you see others doing wrong. Of course, don't call them out on it. But we're going to get that dialed in. And essentially, you have 2 mindsets in your clients. An engineering mindset, how is this built? What are the nuts and bolts? And the artist, what colors, what textures, what fragrances, those types of things. So we definitely want to dial in who our customers, whether they're more engineering minded, so in other words, they're more on the practical end of the scale, or whether they're more artistic on the creative end of the scale, okay? And then you have to balance that through your experience. So the next point, number 6, is sales scripts. How do we get the client to say yes? So every time there's an objection, you can say something like, does that make sense? Are you okay with that? Are you comfortable with that? And if the answer is no, then you can ask them, well, is there anything else I can show you or explain to you to get you to understand what I'm trying to show you so that, we're comfortable together. And then when you get to yes, you're ready to go to the next move. So your chances of closing the job are increasing as we go through this process. Number 7, this is magic. Every time you meet with a client, you should already set the date for the next meeting or even the next 2 meetings so that you create a deadline for yourself. You show them that you're on your stuff and no one else can get in there to sell something because you've already got it dialed in. They've booked with you. There's way less chance that they're going to entertain other quotes while they're in that process with you. It's just too difficult to do. So this is a magic little note that you can do, and it's not a lot of work, and it'll change the culture of your business at the same time. Killer estimates. This is really awesome. When you get this dialed in, number 8, you are going to get it tight. So what's going to happen? We're going to talk about what we're doing. We're going to talk about what we're not doing. We're going to talk about the order that we build things in. Okay. We're going to talk about how we do things, right? And what the timeline for the construction is, because that's a big one, right? People want to get stuff completed in a certain amount of time. If you dial this in, you already separate yourself from all these other people. Imagine you're getting all these steps right as you go. Most of your competitors aren't doing this. There's failure all over the place in this process. And then we get to style. What's your style? So are you sort of more artistic? Are you sort of more earthy? Are you a bit of a cowboy? Like all those can be leveraged where people really like your style. You don't have to be the same as everybody, but you have to be authentic on this one. And that's a magic quotient. Believe it or not, if you have a British accent, you can charge more. If you have a German accent, the engineer loves you. So style is a huge factor in sales. And last but not least, number 10 is marketing. So marketing is what I call the match that explodes this whole thing. And so that is your website, obviously. It's your search engine optimization. It's your social media. And this has a huge impact on your business. And there's one other thing that I didn't list here, which I should have, which is networking. Networking, going to charity events, doing all those wonderful things, participating in your kids' hockey or soccer team or your daughter's ballet or skiing or whatever it is that they do. Get involved in those activities and you will network with people. And once they find out what you do, they like your style, they're going to ask questions and you're going to add to this powerful way to get more business.